This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome to Pulse of Africa News. I am Samia Mohammed with the latest. First, our top stories for today. Morocco delivers third humanitarian aid shipment to Gaza under King's directive. President Cyril Ramaphosa has said South Africa must build resilience with an international trading system. U.S. envoy lands in Russia for talks with Putin ahead of sanctions deadline. Morocco delivers third humanitarian aid shipment to Gaza under King's directive. The Kingdom of Morocco has successfully delivered its third humanitarian aid convoy to Gaza under the direct orders of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, chairman of the Al-Quds Committee. The shipment, which crossed through the Karim Shalom border crossing, includes essential medical supplies, life-saving medications, and food staples destined for civilians enduring Gaza's protracted humanitarian emergency. Local residents expressed profound appreciation. The residents said Morocco's sustained aid deliveries, especially medicines, provide crucial relief. Over the past week, Jordan, the UAE, France, and the UK have conducted precision airdrops using military aircraft to circumvent access restrictions. President Cyril Ramaphosa has said South Africa must build resilience with an international trading system. President Cyril Ramaphosa has emphasized the need to build South Africa's resilience within the international trading system. In his letter to the nation, Ramaphosa focused on interventions that the government is putting in place to mitigate the impact of the decision by the United States to impose 30% tariffs on South African imports last week. He says the country cannot afford to be complacent in the face of increasingly turbulent headwinds and must adapt. An export support desk to assist producers affected by U.S. tariffs has been established by government to guide with expansion into new markets, including the rest of Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. Gambian government plan to cover 78% of water supply system in rural communities. The Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources of Gambia has disclosed that a part of government's pursuit to provide enough and potable water supply to the citizens. The ministry is working to ensure that there is significant coverage of water supply systems in rural communities. The ministry added that upon completion of its project implementation, by December 2025, there will be 78% of coverage of water supply systems in rural communities. The ministry also revealed that the African Development Bank has funded 68 solar-powered water supply systems in various rural communities. Indonesia to support Tanzania adopt cloud seeding technology. The government of Indonesia has expressed its commitment to support Tanzania in adopting and mastering the use of cloud seeding technology to boost the performance of country's food production sector. With this advanced weather modification technology, which aims to help the agricultural sector reduce its dependency on unpredictable weather conditions, Tanzania will have an opportunity to minimize the severe effects of climate change. The support was announced by the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Tanzania, Triyogo Jatmiko, at the ongoing Nani Nani International Agriculture Festival 2025. In other news, Hiroshima marks 80 years since atomic bombing. A silent prayer was held in Japan on Wednesday morning as it marked 80 years since the United States dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba attended the ceremony on Wednesday along with officials from around the world. Japan is the only nation that has suffered an atomic bombing in a war, Hiroshima Mayor Kazumi Matsui said at the City Peace Memorial Park. The Japanese government represents a people who inspire for genuine and lasting peace. World War II ended with Japan's surrender after the dropping of the bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which took place days apart. U.S. envoy lands in Russia for talks with Putin ahead of sanctions deadline. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has arrived in Moscow and was greeted by Russia's investment envoy Kirill Dmitriev. U.S. President Donald Trump, who warned that he would impose sanctions on Russia if Moscow does not agree to a ceasefire in the war in Ukraine before Friday, had said earlier that Witkoff might be traveling to Moscow this week in yet another diplomatic effort to bring hostilities to an end. The Russian source involved in the visit's preparation did not say who Witkoff would meet in Moscow, but a source familiar with the plan told that Witkoff would meet with Russian leadership on Wednesday, and the Kremlin said on Monday that Witkoff's meeting with Putin might take place.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel, all the time. Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now to business news. The Zimbabwe Investment Development Agency injects US $1.4 billion investment in just 6 months. The Zimbabwe Investment Development Agency injected investments worth US $1.4 billion in the year's first 6 months. The details contained in the midterm budget review published last week say ZIDA licensed 178 new investment projects with a cumulative projected value of $1.4 billion. The Treasury disclosed that the investments are distributed as follows: energy and mining 36%, manufacturing 24%, agriculture and agro-processing 20%, and tourism, ICT and services 20%. Meanwhile, ZIDA strengthened its capacity to process and automate licensing process during the period. Finally, WhatsApp deletes over 6.8 million accounts linked to scams, Meta say. WhatsApp has taken down 6.8 million accounts linked to scammers targeting people around the world in the first half of this year, its parent company, Meta says. Many were tied to scam centers run by organized criminals in Southeast Asia who often use forced labor in their operations, according to the social media giant. Meta made the announcement as WhatsApp rolled out new anti-scam measures to alert users to potential fraudulent activities, such as user being added to a group chat by someone not in their contact list. The crackdown targets an increasingly common tactic in which criminals hijack WhatsApp accounts or add users to group chats promoting fake investment schemes and other scams. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. Now to weather updates. That's all for today. Thanks for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.